This is Art Johnson, and today is Coffee with My Friends. So, hello. It's March, and we're in a beautiful time of year for Arizona. It's one of my favorite months. The cold is starting to leave, and the warm is starting to come. I think the high today will be somewhere north of 70 degrees, 71, 72. So we're looking for some good weather here. And again, that's one of the reasons that I live here. And and I've been here a long time. And the other reason is that my wife lives here. This is where I met her over 50 years ago. We just celebrated a big anniversary. Let me talk about my hometown, Bellevue. Big news in Bellevue. That's Bellevue, Washington. That's where I say I grew up there. I lived there for about 10 years, but it was a kind of important part of my life from the time I was, maybe 11 years, from the time I was 10 or so until the time I graduated from college. I was 21, I think. I think that's what you call home. It's where you grew up, in those formative years. I went through school, I went to high school in Bellevue, and I went to college at the University of Washington. How did I get onto, I wanted to talk about the big news in Bellevue. There's a Dick's burger joint, and Dick's is a chain of burger places. It's a drive-up restaurant, so you drive in, just like you saw on American Graffiti. You drive up there, you get out of your car, go up and order, and you stay there in your car and eat your burger. It was a huge hangout, of course. They were famous for a 19-cent burger back when I grew up. I'm sure it's way more than 19 cents now. And it's a pretty decent burger as far as fast burgers go. I don't remember it that much. I don't remember it being as that famous, but people seem to crave it now, just like they do In-N-Out burgers and other kinds of burgers. But anyway, they built a Dick's in Bellevue in 1965, and I worked in Bellevue. When I went to the university, I always lived in Seattle, someplace over there. Sometimes in the university district. One time I was living in Capitol Hill, which is nowhere near the university. But in any case, I never lived in Bellevue, but I worked there. And so I worked for a place called the Milk Barn. And as often as not, when I worked an afternoon, evening shift so I could go to school during the day. And I'd get off work we closed at 9, so probably about 9:30. I was out of that place and on my way home, and Dick's was right on the way. When they built it was right on the way, so I often stopped there for a burger on the way home. And the story is that after 10 years in that location, Dick's closed up there. They closed it down. Now, that was kind of an unusual thing to do. So the rumor was that they upped the rent, and it was just outrageous, and they didn't want to pay it anymore. So now we're talking 50 years ago, and now they're opening a Dick's in Bellevue. So 50 years later, they learned their lesson. But the other story about why they might have closed is that when they opened that thing up, it was immensely popular, and it was just at the edge of town. When you passed the Dick's, you were kind of out of Bellevue. But the problem is that the kids would come up to Dick's, hang out, get their burger, whatever, and then they would drive. It was on a main street. They would drive back and forth the main street. You know what they do, honking their horn and whistling at girls and, doing all the things that we did. They called it cruising, I think. And yeah, that's the real reason behind Dick's closing up, is that the city fathers and the city and the police, all the extra work that was required because of all these teenagers that were cruising up and down the main street of Bellevue that hadn't been there before. That's the story, at least that I heard as to why they closed. Now, Dick's is reopening, and they made a big announcement last week as to where the location was going to be, and it's in a place called Crossroads, which is almost a suburb of Bellevue. It's not anywhere near downtown Bellevue. It's a bedroom community called Lake Hills. Crossroads is right in the middle of Lake Hills, and it's a shopping area. Crossroads is a shopping area, and that's where Dick's is going to be. Certainly an excellent location. I mean, Dick's will do good wherever they are, but they'll do especially good. They made a good choice in Crossroads. Well, there we are. So that got me thinking about fast food places. I mentioned In-N-Out Burger, very, very popular burger. People love In-N-Out burgers. I don't blame them. They're inexpensive and they're quite tasty, in my opinion. So it got me thinking of this. I looked up the top 10 burgers. Somebody published a list that had pictures of them, and they had burgers in there like Wendy's and. But In-N-Out was number one out of the 10. The number 10 burger on this list for best overall burger, fast food burger, is Fat Burger. And I think I've had a Fat Burger. It seemed to me that I liked it. Number 9 is Steak and Shake double cheeseburger steak burger. And I'm not sure I've ever had that. Number 8 is Wendy's. And I've certainly had Wendy's, and there's nothing wrong with Wendy's, but I wouldn't put it on a list of top burgers, let's put it that way. Number 7 is Fuddruckers. And I have had Fuddruckers, and I like Fuddruckers. I haven't had one in a long time, but I always thought that was a good burger. And then number 6, we're back to Wendy's. Wendy's Baconator. So I guess that's a burger with bacon on it. Number 5 is Burger King Whopper. So number 5 is a Whataburger. It's a big burger, and I've stopped there every once in a while. I have a craving for a Whataburger. So it's again, I would never put that on my list of the top 10 burgers in the world, but it's definitely a decent burger. Number 3 is Five Guys. Five Guys Bacon Cheeseburger. I do like Five Guys. I have to confess that I haven't had one for a while, but I do like the Five Guys burgers. It would be on my list of the top 10. They've got it here twice. Number 3, Five Guys Bacon Cheeseburger, and number 2, Five Guys Hamburger. I have no idea how this list was compiled, but there you are. And then number 1, as we've already spoken of, is In-N-Out Burger Double Double. Nothing like a double double. I will give these guys credit, whoever made this list, of leaving off McDonald's and Jack in the Box. And I don't just think either of those places deserves to be on the top 10 list. And that's it. Enjoyed talking to you. Take care. Be good. Be safe.